I realized I have not given y'all an update on what my book is actually about, so let me do that in this video. But first, let me give y'all an update on where I'm at in the writing process now that the first week of February is over. I'm currently in the middle of Act 2, more like the end-ish of Act 2, and I'm having a lot of fun with my characters. I have deviated a little bit from my outline, but the outline has still been super helpful. Initially, I wanted this to be a standalone book, then my outline kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can do 2 books. But now that I'm in the middle of writing, I realize, you know what, no, this is going to be a standalone book. And now I have a new ending that's going to tie up everything, I'm hoping, because I do kind of just want to do a standalone thing first for my first book and then go into a series after that. Okay, so some things that have changed between my outline and what I'm actually writing is my character development. I feel like one of my side characters is a bit more interesting than my main character, and I can't have that happening. At least that's what my outline was like, and you would think my outline would be the more polished version, but it's not. As I'm currently working on the story, I realize that my main character needs to be the one that's more interesting. If you're getting all this information about a side character, but you don't spend that much time with the side character, I feel like you're gonna start to not really care that much about the main character. So I thought I could either change who my main character is or just make my current main character better. And because of the little bit of backstory that I gave to my main character, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep her as the main character and give her even more of a background, focus more on why she is the way she is, what her past was like, and then focus a little bit less on one of the side characters because the way I had her in my outline, there was like a reason why she was in this new town, and it didn't actually add to the story, especially with some of the changes that I've made. So I'm changing up how the characters are being handled now that I'm actually writing the story. That does not mean that I don't want to have fleshed out side characters. I just need to have an even more fleshed out main character, I think. Okay, but what is my story even about? Since I haven't really said that much about it, besides that it's sapphic and gothic and has vampires. Okay, so we do have vampires, we have secrets, we have being locked in a house, we have murder and death, and we have twisted love. There's also a central theme that I have in mind, but I'm gonna keep that to myself because when I send this out to beta readers, I really want to ask them what they feel the theme of this book is and see if it aligns with what I want it to be. Also, this is very much a gothic fiction story. So my main character is going to be haunted by her past. There's going to be a sense of isolation and loneliness even when she's not alone. And she's going to struggle at times with knowing what's real and what's just in her imagination. I know that's still pretty vague, but I also want to emphasize that vampires in my story are very much scary creatures. There might still be some sexiness and a bit of an allure to them, but I want to make it clear that they are not people or creatures that you mess with. They are here to do bad things, and they do bad things. They're also just dark and twisted and definitely something to be feared. Oh, also, this book is an adult book, so the characters are in their late 20s, early 30s. So one thing I'm trying to still decide is if this is going to be a horror or more of a thriller, and depending on which one I go for is going to drastically change how I write the story, but I'm going to focus more on that in draft 2. If I focus more on the thriller, then I might have a more faster paced story. If I focus more on horror, then there might be a bit more description involved in the kind of violence and fighting that happens here. There's going to be other changes besides those 2 things, but those are the 2 major things I think will change based on which direction I go in, thriller or horror. But for now, I'm just going to focus on finishing draft 1, and then that will be draft 2's problem. I'm also curious to know, if you're a fan of thriller or horror, what do you like about either of those genres? Okay, so I am quickly approaching the end of Act 2 and will be starting Act 3 soon, and I am finding plot holes. And I'm trying to stop myself from going back and fixing those plot holes before I finish this draft because I might just cause even more of a mess. So I'm feeling so motivated to just get to the end so I can go back to my outline, really revise it, make it stronger, and then attack draft 2 with a clear vision for what I want the story to be. And because I am so excited to get started on draft 2, I think I'm gonna do another writing challenge soon where I try to write a lot in a little bit of time just to finish up this draft. but you will have to wait until next week to see how that goes. Also, I'm going to be live streaming some writing sprints with CK Jensen on Sunday, February 9th I set the wrong date here. I meant to say I will be streaming with CK Jensen at 1 p.m. Central on Sunday, February 9th. So I hope to see you there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know down below what your favorite genre to write in is.